Hello everyone, this is a video about how we can use Tableau desktop for visualization. When you open Tableau software on the left hand side, you can see connections, how you can connect your Tableau software to other datasets. So we want to explore a dataset about a store, Superstore, and here on left hand side you have different connections. You can connect to a file, you can import your data set from a server, and you have other connections. For example, you can connect to Google Analytics, you can connect to Spark SQL, and a bunch of other connections that you can access, for example MySQL database. But here we want to import our data set from Microsoft Excel. When I click on Microsoft Excel, I can import my data set, uh, which is a Excel file. So on the left hand side you can see the connection that I created, the sheets that I have, and on the right hand side I can see a place that I can drag and drop my data set and the sheets and connect different data sources. I can add more data sources, but for this demo perspective I imported an Excel file, and you can see that in the Excel file there are three sheets that I can connect to each other. When I click on each sheet, then I can see the information and the data inside of the sheet. As you can see, this information is about orders, and I can go through this data source, and given that we have information about the orders in a superstore and people and returns, I want to connect different data sources together. So I can drag and drop people here to connect the orders. And as you can see, because these two data sources have common columns, Tableau automatically connects these two data sources based on their common columns. Both of these data sources have regions. From people we have region, from orders we have region, and this is a kind of inner join. And you have different options here to join different data sources. For example, you can do left join, right join, full outer join. And when you join two data sources, you can see the additional columns here on right hand side. And I have another data source regarding the returns, the customer's returns, so I can drag and drop this one as well to this environment. And here again, because these two data sources have common columns, you can see Tableau automatically recognize the common columns of two data sources. We have order ID here, on right hand side we can order ID, but for a reason the Tableau does not recognize two columns. You can specify the columns that you have in mind to kind of two data sources. You on the left hand side you can see a list of columns, on the right hand side you can see a list of columns, and you can connect them. And you have a kind of comparison operations that you can do in the joining. For example, you can choose less than or not equal and those kind of things so that you can see the results. Again, you can choose one of the kind of joins that you want to connect to data sources. So when you connect your data sources, you can see the additional columns, and in parentheses you can see that if you have a common column, it says that from which table this column comes, right? Here we can see order ID comes from returns, region comes from people, and these are the columns of my data set. So I can see list of the fields or columns that I have. You can see we have a bunch of fields from orders, from people, from returns, and their actual field name. We can change the field name by clicking on each field, and we can see the data type of each field, and we can change the data type. If, for example, um, we have a number but it says a string, so we can change it as well. So each of these icons shows a specific data type. Here we can see a string, here number, here date, right? And we have other data types, like for example geographical information. And then on right hand side you can see if you have any hidden fields, you can show it. You can restrict the number of rows. For example, if I select 5, it just shows the first 5 records, right? It is useful when your data set is large, right? And when you have your data ready, right, then you can go through sheets to create your visualization. Okay, I have my data set ready, and then I can go to sheet 1 to create some visualization. In sheets you have the different options for visualization. On left hand side you can see the data sources. If you have more than one data sources, it will list here. You can search in your fields, you can filter them, you can view the data. For example, when I click here, I can see all the um, and records in different fields. And here I can see I have the 3 data sources: orders, people, and returns. And Tableau divides this section into 2 dimensions and measures or metrics. So as you can see, when we click on each of these data source, we can see nominal information regarding the data source. If we find one of those as a kind of metrics, we can convert this to metrics or can convert to continuous. But usually Tableau recognize nominals based on the data time and field name. For example, customer ID is not a kind of matrix, right? It's a kind of nominal value that we can use for dimensions. We have people information, person, as you can see, this is nominal, and we can use it as a dimension along with the other fields in these sections. But in the second section, we can see some, for example, here we see a green sharp which shows the metric, discount, profit, and quantity, and sale information about the products. These are all metrics, right? And these 2 fields are created by Tableau based on the geographical location that we have, latitude and longitude. For example, if we have city, country, so we can have these 2 fields in the left hand side. And in the middle places we have pages, filters, and marks. We use marks for visualization based on colors, based on size, text, if we want to create tooltip, or detail based on the ID. For example, detail information about each customer, we can use this part. Filter for conditions, and we use dimensions or measures here if we want to create visualization based on pages. For example, when we are using a time series, so we can drag and drop dates, and we can walk through different dates here. On right side we can see columns. The columns we want to drag here based on dimensions, and rows shows where we can drag and drop the metrics that we have. And in this space you can see the visualization. Right hand side you can see show me. Show me is the recommendation, Tableau recommendation regarding different visualization options that we have. For example, if I want to see the categories of products and their sale information, I can drag and drop category here. At the same time, I can drag sales, and I can see we have three categories, and in these category we have furniture, office supplies, and technology, and we can see a bar chart here. At the same time, you can change the visualization based on Tableau recommendation. For example, it says you can change it to a heat map, you can change it to pie chart, or tree map, right? And let's go back to bar chart. For example, we can see here horizontal bar chart, and we can change the horizontal bar chart based on the options we have on top. For example, this is the sorting options that we have, and we can change the sorting based on descending, and we can make it a little bit larger, and we can add more layers to that. For example, we have categories and we have subcategories, and we can drag and drop subcategory to here to see the product categories along with their subcategories, right? And we can see how was the sale based on the category and subcategory as well. Again, we can use this as a stacked bar chart to show the different subcategories, right? And when we change it, as you can see, there are some changes on this side. For example, Tableau automatically put the subcategory in color, and we can see different colors, and we have a legend here that shows different category as well. So if we use a subcategory here, again we can see the subcategory for each product, right? In this way we can create a bar chart. If we want to remove the colors, we can see a difference. For example, different categories and sections for furniture, office supplies, and technology, and we can change the, for example, title of this using this option. We can edit this, and we can for example put a title on this chart, for example, product category, right? And we can apply it, and we can change the fonts, for example, here, and make it bold, for example, change the color, and all of those kind of things we can do on this chart. So in this way, we create a sheet based on product category and sale information. I changed the name of this sheet to product category as well. And one of the things that you can do at the beginning, when you change it to a correct name, Tableau automatically put the name or title of this chart based on the sheet name, right? Let's create another visualization based on different measures. I can duplicate this visualization, and I can call it region per category. And instead of using category or subcategory, we can use region here. We have different regions, and I can select all the regions here. And as you can see, based on these filters that we have, we can select a specific region. I can show this region on right hand side so that user can select based on the region that we have, and we can change the type of this multi-select to single value, to a list, to a kind of a slider, right? And the user can select different let's say region by this drop down menu. And in left hand side, we can customize the region. For example, here we can select a specific region. We can use wildcard to search for a specific value inside of that specific columns. We can have condition, or we can select top 5 or type 10 in different metrics instead of selecting a specific regions. So when we have that, then we can select based on the region and we can see the results, right? And another thing that we can do with region, we can add another metrics here. We have sale, but I would like to see quantity as well. So I would like to see quantity and sale for different regions. And here I would like to, instead of having two different bar charts, I would like to see a columnar bar chart. So I convert it to columnar bar chart. And here I can see let's say sales and quantity based on different metrics. Tableau adds a legend on right hand side so that I can see the quantity and sale, so I don't need these uh, access labels, so I can remove the headers here, and here we can see in which region, which category, which subcategory we have different values. We can add more metrics. For example, I want to add profit to this analysis as well. And here I change it again to columnar bar chart, and you can see profit and quantity and sale here, right? So as you can see, when we add more metrics, our visualization will be um, added with more metrics. So I can select, I would like to select the metrics name here as well. That's why here in the measure name, when I show it as a filter, I can select based on which metrics I want to select. Again, I can see profit, I can see quantity, I can select or deselect one of these metrics, right, based on the drop down. So in this way we can create a drop down menu so that user can select based on different values. We can change it based on single value as well. So I would like to see the count of our orders in different features, in different categories, in different regions. Right, and in this way we can create a dynamic visualization. I don't need to have this measure name here. If I don't want to do that, I don't want to see that, you can just hide this card, right? And now we can see a metric based on the regions, right? Another thing is you can create custom metrics. For example, I want to see sales by quantity, and I would like just to see sale by quantity and profit, right? These two metrics. So I should create another field based on the current metrics that we have to allow user to select a metric that user wants. We can create a parameter, right? We can create parameter here, and we call it let's say custom metrics, and the type of this is string because we want to user selects from the list profit, and when users selects profit, shows profit as well. What else? Sale quantity, right? So based on these values that we have, select can see the information. I just copy paste this one so that I can have everything. So this is a parameter, is a custom menu, right? And now it's the time to create a calculated fields, because it's the custom field. In the calculate fields, I call it custom metrics, and here say that if the user what was the parameter that I have, custom metric equals to profit, right? If the user selects profit, then we have a profit in our system, so we can select profit. Else if the custom metric equals what was that? It was quantity, sale quantity. Then here I would like to see sale over quantity, so we can add more complicated calculations here as well. And this is the formula that I can create, and I can here remove the measures that I want, because I don't want to see these measures, and instead I would like to drag and drop these measures here, right? And and the parameters that we have here, so I can drag and drop parameters here, show parameter on right hand side, and I can see in parameters we have profit, right? And we can see sale quantity. So in this way we don't need to see the measure names because it automatically comes up, and we can hide this card, and on right hand side we can see custom metrics. We don't need this one. So as you can see, I switch between profit and quantity, right? And I can remove this coloring as well, so that we can see sale and profit at the same time. In this way we use parameter to allow users select the metric or the value that user wants to see, and we create a calculate field so that can be selected based on the user metrics, right? Okay, we created a metrics based on the region and the category. At the same time, we created custom metrics as well. Another thing that we can do, we can create a time series. So again, I duplicate these sheets. I can call it metrics over time or over years, right? Because I want to create time series, right? And here for time series we have a date, order date, and we have ship date, right? So we use date, and we can use the custom metrics here. Let's see, we can drag and drop order dates, and you can see here this is the sale quantity, right, over the years, right? Here it says year. As soon as you drag and drop a date type field, you can change the change it to year, change it to quarter, change it to month, and different things. Here if I want to change it to month, I can see the sale over quantity, all right, for different let's say time, all right. And I can, when I switch to profit, I can see how the profit changes over the time. If I want to see change it based on different region, we can select the regions that I want, and I can select a region here, drag and drop the color to see different regions, right? And for example, here we can see in West regions we had high profit in March 2017, right? And again, when I switch to sale quantity, we can see different region as well. At the same time, we, instead of regions, we can drag and drop category, and put a category here, and you can see furniture, office supplies, and technology. We have different values over the time, right? And we can change it to say that, let's say profit, or we can, instead of profit, because every time we have different values, we can change it based on the custom metrics, perhaps by let's say product category. If we do that, it automatically shows the sale per quantity. If I change it to profit, you can see set profit. So in this way, you can create dynamic, let's say, dynamic title for your visualization. Yeah, this is an example of time series and how you can use that. And another thing that you can do after creating, let's say, different sheets, you can create a dashboard. In the dashboard, you can have one or two or three visualization, and you can have different objects, different layout for your visualization. For example, I want to create a kind of vertical visualization. On top, I want to put a product category, right? And one of the things that we can do, we can connect two different sheets that they have same informations, right? So I put the regions and the metrics over the time here, and we can, when we select, for example, centrals or based on different categories or region, we can see different values here. Let's change this one to regions so that we can see different regions over the time. Instead of having a category, I would like to see regions here so that I can use it. And here I would like to see apply this for all the related data source that we have, right? So it means that when I have two sheets, when I select this region, it affects all the sheets that I have. I go back to the dashboard that I have, and here we can see the product category. If I select just let's say West, you can see that both sheets or both visualization changes based on my select, because I selected this as a connected drop down for both of them. And when I select more, you can see different things here as well, and it shows the region, right? So yeah, I can remove this one and can have this too. What about this one? When I select sale by quantity, you can see that the sale by quantity is changed to profit in both visualization, right? So this is the one of the dashboards by a region. Then I can select another dashboards based on the product category that I have, right? This is a static product category visualization, and I can call it product category. And now I can see region and product category. There are two different visualizations, two different dashboards. Now I can create a story, right? New story, and I would say Superstore here. And in the Superstore, I have the first dashboard based on the product category, based on the category and subcategory. I can call it sale by product category. And after that, I can add another let's say dashboard here after that, this one, and I call it custom, or we can call it by region dashboard, right? In this way, when I have this visualization, I would see sale per product category, and the next visualization I can see the product category based on the regions, and here I can change between the different metrics, and I can change the different let's say regions, right? In this way I can select different things. I can even change the title for this one. To do that, I would like to go to this dashboard, and here we can see the product category, Perhaps we can change it to custom metrics that we defined. Insert custom metrics by category and apply it. And again, when we go to our Superstore story, it says that profit product category, and when I change it to sale category, the title is changed automatically. Okay, thank you.